Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Easy English Learning. I'm Lily.
And I'm James. It's great to have you with us today. We hope you're having a wonderful day, wherever you're listening from.
Today, we're talking about something that almost everyone enjoys discussing. Our topic is how to talk about your hobbies and free time naturally.
I really like this topic because it's one of the easiest ways to start a conversation. If you meet someone for the first time, talking about hobbies can help you get to know each other without feeling awkward.
That's true. People usually enjoy talking about the things they love. And when you speak about your hobbies, your English sounds more natural because you're talking about real experiences.
Exactly. You don't need difficult grammar or fancy words. You just need simple, clear English and confidence.
So, James, let me ask you the first question. What do you usually do in your free time?
That's a good question. Well, I enjoy reading, especially mystery novels. I also like going for long walks in the evening. It helps me relax after a busy day.
That sounds nice. I love reading too, although I don't read mystery books very often. I usually choose travel stories or books about different cultures.
Really? That's interesting. Have you always enjoyed reading?
Not really. When I was younger, I preferred watching movies. But a few years ago, I decided to read more often. At first, it felt like a challenge, but now it's one of my favorite hobbies.
I think many people have a similar experience. Sometimes we don't enjoy something immediately. We need to give it a little time.
Absolutely. That's why it's useful to know expressions like, I got into it a few years ago, or I started doing it recently. Native speakers often use those phrases.
Right. Instead of saying, this is my hobby, you can naturally say, I really got into photography lately, or I recently started learning the guitar.
Those expressions sound friendly and relaxed.
Speaking of photography, do you enjoy taking pictures?
Yes, I do. I'm not a professional photographer, but I like taking photos when I travel. I enjoy capturing small moments, like people walking through a local market or a beautiful sunset.
That's a great way to remember your trips.
Exactly. Looking at old photos brings back wonderful memories.
I completely agree. I don't take many photos, though. Sometimes my friends laugh because I visit amazing places and come home with only 3 pictures.
Really? Only 3?
Yes, I usually forget to take out my phone because I'm busy enjoying the moment.
Actually, I think that's a good habit. Sometimes people spend so much time taking photos that they forget to enjoy what's happening around them.
That's true. It's all about finding a balance.
Here's another common question people ask. What do you like doing on weekends?
That's a question you'll hear quite often.
So, James, what do your weekends usually look like?
They're usually quite relaxed. I like sleeping in on Saturday morning, making a nice breakfast, and then meeting a few friends for coffee.
That sounds lovely.
In the afternoon, I might watch a football match or work in my small garden. It's nothing special, but I enjoy it.
I don't think hobbies have to be exciting. Sometimes simple activities make us happiest.
I couldn't agree more.
My weekends are a little different. I often visit my parents, cook something new, or spend time organizing my apartment.
Wait a minute. Did you just say you enjoy organizing?
Yes, I know it sounds strange.
I have to admit that's not one of my favorite activities.
Well, I find it relaxing. When everything is clean and tidy, I feel calmer.
Fair enough. Everyone relaxes in different ways.
Exactly. That's something English learners should remember. There isn't a right or wrong hobby. Your hobby is simply something you enjoy.
That's an important point. Don't worry if your hobby isn't unusual. Reading, cooking, walking, playing games, listening to music, painting, gardening, or watching documentaries are all perfectly normal answers.
And when someone tells you about their hobby, it's nice to show interest. Instead of just saying, okay, you can ask another question.
Like, how long have you been doing that?
Or what do you enjoy most about it? Maybe, how did you get started?
Those questions help keep the conversation going.
Exactly. Good conversations are not only about speaking, they're also about listening and asking follow-up questions.
That's one of the biggest secrets to becoming a confident speaker.
I completely agree. By the way, have you ever tried learning a musical instrument? Yes, I tried learning the piano when I was a teenager.
Really? Can you still play?
Just a little. I remember a few songs, but I'm definitely out of practice.
That's another useful expression.
Right. If you haven't done something for a long time, you can say, I'm out of practice when it comes to swimming, Or, I'm out of practice speaking French.
Those are expressions people actually use.
What hobby would you like to try in the future?
I'd love to learn pottery.
Pottery? That's unexpected. I know. I think making something with your own hands would be relaxing. It also gives you a chance to slow down.
That sounds fun. I've always wanted to learn how to bake bread properly.
Really?
Yes, mine usually ends up looking a little funny.
Well, if it tastes good, that's what matters.
That's what I keep telling myself.
I think hobbies are also a great way to meet new people.
Definitely. If you join a sports club, a book club, or a photography group, you'll naturally meet people who have similar interests.
That makes conversations much easier because you already have something to talk about.
Exactly. You don't need to think too hard about what to say.
Sometimes people worry that their English isn't perfect.
That's very common.
But remember, people usually care more about communication than perfect grammar.
Yes, if you're friendly, interested, and willing to keep the conversation going, most people will enjoy talking with you.
That's such an encouraging thought.
It really is.
Before we continue, here's a question for everyone listening. Think about your favorite hobby. Can you describe it in 3 simple sentences?
That's a great challenge.
You don't have to use difficult vocabulary.
You could simply say, I enjoy cycling. I usually ride my bike on Sunday mornings. It helps me stay healthy and clear my mind.
Or, I love cooking. I like trying new recipes. My family enjoys tasting my food.
See? Simple English can sound very natural.
Exactly. The goal isn't to impress people. The goal is to connect with them.
And hobbies are one of the easiest ways to do that.
I think we're just getting started because there are so many interesting ways to talk about free time.
I agree. Next, let's look at how everyday conversations become more natural when we talk about routines, favorite activities, and the little things we enjoy after a busy day. So, Lily, let's continue with something people ask all the time. What do you usually do after work? I hear that question quite often.
Me too. It's such a natural conversation starter because almost everyone has a different answer.
Exactly. So, what do you usually do after work?
It depends on the day. If I'm feeling energetic, I might go for a walk or do a short workout. If I've had a long day, I usually make a cup of tea, put on some relaxing music, and read a few chapters of a book.
That sounds like a peaceful evening.
It really is. I've noticed that having a simple routine helps me switch off after work.
I like that expression, switch off. It doesn't mean turning off a machine, it means relaxing and taking your mind off work.
Exactly. After a busy day, we all need some time to switch off.
My evenings are a little different. I enjoy cooking dinner. Some people think cooking is a chore, but I actually look forward to it.
That's interesting. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Pasta, without a doubt. There are so many different recipes that I never get bored.
Do you follow recipes carefully?
Not always. Sometimes I like to experiment.
That sounds risky.
It can be. Sometimes a meal turns out great, and sometimes, well, let's just say I order pizza instead.
I think we've all had days like that.
Definitely. Learning a hobby means making mistakes, and that's perfectly normal.
That's true whether you're learning English, cooking, painting, or playing a sport.
Exactly. Nobody becomes good overnight.
I like that expression, too. You don't become good overnight.
It reminds us to be patient.
Speaking of patience, have you ever started a hobby and then given it up?
Oh yes, more than once.
Really? Tell us about one.
A few years ago, I decided to learn chess. I bought a nice chessboard, watched lots of videos, and even downloaded an app.
That sounds promising.
It did for about 2 weeks.
What happened?
Life got busy and I slowly stopped practicing. Before I knew it, my chessboard was collecting dust.
I love that expression, collecting dust.
Yes, if something is collecting dust, it means you aren't using it anymore.
I think many people have something at home that's collecting dust.
Absolutely. Maybe it's an old guitar, an exercise bike, or a camera.
Or a box of art supplies.
Exactly.
I actually started knitting once.
Really? I didn't expect that.
Neither did my family.
How did it go?
Let's just say my first scarf looked very unusual.
That's a polite way to describe it.
I tried my best, but the scarf was much wider at one end than the other.
Well, that's one of a kind.
Exactly. Nobody else has a scarf like that.
Did you keep it?
Of course. It reminds me that learning something new doesn't have to be perfect.
I like that attitude.
Thanks.
Another question people often ask is, how often do you do your hobby?
That's an easy question, but your answer can sound much more natural if you vary your expressions.
Instead of always saying every day, you could say, whenever I have some free time.
Or I try to do it a couple of times a week.
Another natural answer is, it depends on my schedule.
Exactly. Real life isn't always the same every week.
That's right.
Sometimes I read every evening, but during busy weeks, I hardly have time.
And that's completely normal.
Here's another interesting question. Do you prefer hobbies that you can do alone or with other people?
That's a difficult one.
Take your time.
I think I enjoy both for different reasons.
Tell me more.
If I want to relax, I usually choose something quiet, like reading or gardening. But if I want to have fun and laugh, I'd rather spend time with friends.
That makes sense. What about you? I'm quite similar. Sometimes I need a little quiet time to recharge.
Recharge is another useful word.
Yes, we often say we need to recharge after a stressful week.
It doesn't only refer to phones or batteries.
Exactly.
But I also enjoy activities that bring people together.
Like board games?
Yes, board games are a great example.
They're becoming popular again.
I think people enjoy spending less time looking at screens.
I agree. It's nice to sit around a table, have a conversation, and laugh together.
Even if you lose the game.
Especially if you don't lose too badly.
That's true.
Let's imagine you're meeting someone for the first time at a cafe.
Okay.
After introducing yourself, you might ask, "What do you usually do in your spare time?"
Then the other person says, I enjoy hiking.
A good response wouldn't simply be nice,
Right. You could ask, what's your favorite hiking trail?
or how often do you go hiking?
Maybe, do you usually go alone or with friends?
Those questions show real interest.
And they help the conversation continue naturally.
That's the secret to good communication.
Curiosity.
Exactly.
Not perfect English.
That's such an important reminder.
I know some English learners who worry because they can't think of long answers.
But long answers aren't always better.
Not at all.
Sometimes 2 or 3 honest sentences are enough.
Then you ask another question.
Conversation is like playing tennis.
That's a great comparison.
You don't keep the ball forever.
You hit it back.
Exactly.
If both people ask questions and answer naturally, the conversation keeps moving.
And it feels enjoyable instead of stressful.
That's what we want.
Before we move on, here's another small challenge for everyone listening.
We're giving you lots of practice today.
We certainly are.
So, what's the challenge?
Think about a hobby you would like to start this year, then explain why.
You could say something like, I'd like to learn photography because I enjoy being creative.
Or, I'd love to start gardening because I want to spend more time outdoors.
Simple, natural, and easy to understand.
Exactly. And remember, the more you talk about your own life, the more confident you'll become.
That's because you're speaking from experience.
In the next part of our conversation, we'll talk about seasonal hobbies, childhood interests, trying something completely new, and how our free time changes as life changes. Welcome back. We were just talking about trying new hobbies, and that made me think of something. Do you think our hobbies change as we get older?
Definitely. Mine certainly have. When I was a child, I spent almost all my free time playing outside with my friends.
Same here. We didn't need much to have fun. A football, a bicycle, or even an empty park was enough.
Exactly. We could stay outside for hours without getting bored.
Things are a little different now. Many people spend more time indoors because of work or busy schedules.
That's true, but I think people are becoming more interested in finding hobbies that help them relax.
I agree. After spending hours in front of a computer, it's nice to do something completely different.
Like painting, gardening, baking, or even going for a quiet walk.
Speaking of walks, do you prefer walking alone or with someone?
Most of the time, I enjoy walking alone because it gives me time to think.
I understand that.
But every now and then, it's nice to walk with a friend. A simple walk can turn into a long conversation.
That's so true. Sometimes the best conversations happen when you're not sitting face to face.
Exactly. Walking side by side somehow makes people feel more relaxed.
I couldn't agree more.
Here's something I've noticed. People often say they are too busy for hobbies.
Yes, I hear that a lot.
Do you think it's always true?
Not always. Of course, some people have very busy lives, but sometimes it's more about making time than finding time.
That's an excellent point.
Even 20 or 30 minutes can make a difference.
Right. You don't need an entire afternoon to enjoy a hobby.
Reading a few pages, watering your plants, practicing the guitar, or writing in a journal doesn't take hours.
Exactly. Small habits can become part of your daily routine.
And once they become a habit, they don't feel like hard work anymore.
That's one reason people say little by little.
I like that expression. Progress doesn't have to be fast.
It just has to continue.
Let's talk about seasonal hobbies.
Good idea.
Are there activities you only enjoy during certain times of the year?
Absolutely. During the summer, I love spending time outdoors. I enjoy cycling and having picnics with friends.
That sounds wonderful.
But once winter arrives, I spend much more time indoors reading books or watching documentaries.
I'm quite similar. My hobbies change with the weather too.
I think that's perfectly normal.
It keeps life interesting.
Exactly.
Another question people often ask is, what's a hobby you've always wanted to try but haven't had the chance yet?
That's a fun question.
What would your answer be?
I'd love to learn scuba diving one day.
Really? That sounds exciting.
It does, although I'd probably feel a little nervous at first.
That's understandable. What about you?
I've always wanted to learn how to dance properly.
What kind of dance?
Maybe salsa or ballroom dancing?
I can imagine that being a lot of fun.
Me too. Besides learning something new, it would also be a good way to meet people.
That's another benefit of hobbies. They often help us build friendships.
Exactly.
Have you ever noticed that people become more confident when they talk about something they truly enjoy?
Yes, their faces light up.
Their voices become more energetic too.
That's because they're talking about something meaningful to them.
And that's why hobbies make such great conversation topics.
Here's another useful question. What's your favorite way to spend a lazy Sunday?
I like that one. My answer would probably be reading, drinking coffee, and listening to music.
Mine would be making breakfast, watching a good movie, and taking an afternoon nap.
An afternoon nap?
Absolutely. I think naps are underrated.
I knew you were going to say that.
You know me too well.
We've had enough conversations to guess each other's answers.
That's true.
Before we finish today's broadcast, let's give our listeners one last speaking challenge.
Great idea.
Imagine someone asks you, what do you enjoy doing in your free time?
Try answering with 4 or 5 natural sentences.
Then explain why you enjoy that activity.
After that, ask the other person a question.
That's how real conversations work.
Exactly. Speaking is a two-way activity.
Don't worry if you make mistakes. Every conversation is another chance to improve.
The important thing is to keep speaking.
Little by little, you'll become more confident.
And one day, you'll notice that you're speaking more naturally without thinking too much.
That's the goal.
Well, James, I've really enjoyed today's conversation.
Me too. Talking about hobbies always reminds me that life isn't only about work. Making time for the things we enjoy is just as important.
We hope today's discussion has given you plenty of useful ideas and natural expressions that you can use in everyday conversations.
Remember, you don't need perfect English to have a great conversation. Be curious, be friendly, and don't be afraid to share your own experiences.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
We truly appreciate each one of you for listening and learning with us.
If you enjoyed today's English broadcast, don't forget to subscribe to Easy English Learning so you never miss a new episode.
And if you found today's conversation helpful, share it with a friend who's learning English too.
We'll be back very soon with another interesting topic to help you speak English more naturally and more confidently.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, enjoy using English in your everyday life.
Take care, everyone. Goodbye, and we'll see you in the next broadcast on Easy English Learning.